How are you, Aman?
I'm fine, ma'am. What about you?
I'm very well, thank you. Aman, you'd like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, first of all, hello to all of you. My name is Aman and I'm 18 years old. I come from a decent town named Bagaru, which is world famous for its textile designing and printing, located in the outskirts of Jaipur. I completed my 12th standard from Delhi Public School, Jaipur, with 94% in PCM. Along with studies, I also took part and represented my school in various extracurricular activities like basketball, drama, and dance. I like to keep learning new things. For example, I have been learning about stock market and mutual funds. I know basic Korean and I learned how to play chess last year. IPM is a program which forms a strong foundation in various subjects like mathematics, statistics, and humanities. This is what intrigued me to go for IPM. I have a calm and curious nature, which will be an added benefit if I can pursue the IPM program.
Okay, Aman, tell me what is your ambition in life?
Ma'am, after getting the management education, I want to join my family business. Along with my family members' invaluable experience and the management education, I want to expand our business worldwide because it has a potential market.
What qualities do you think a good manager requires?
I think a manager should be calm. He should be a leader. He should have leadership qualities. He should understand his weaknesses and he should be self-aware about himself and his peers also so that he can manage them according to their strengths and weaknesses.
Talking about strengths and weaknesses, I would want you to tell us about your strengths and weaknesses.
My biggest strength is my rational and calm way of handling stressful situations rather than letting my emotions overcome me. Like last year, during the second wave of COVID, all my family members except me, my aunt, and my uncle got COVID positive. There are 10 members in my family. Of course, I was scared and worried about them, but I did not let them weaken me. I I took responsibilities like sanitizing the house, medicines, and other household works, whereas my uncle took care of the business and my aunt took care of the food. So my other strength would be my introspective nature. Whenever I am sad, disappointed, or angry, I try to talk to myself and analyze if there was something I could do differently, or was the situation totally out of my hands. Now, talking about my weaknesses, I tend to make an opinion about new people too soon, and then later I realize that I was wrong about them when I know them more. Either I thought too good of them or too bad. But now I take some time before making an opinion about new people and interact with them enough.
Okay, Aman, tell me what is the driving force behind your conduct?
When I think everyone knows that we only have one life, and that too we don't know for how long. So this fact keeps my inner drive going, and this makes me my push my limits and boundaries to great extent. I want to get out of my comfort zone and keep taking up challenges. This keeps me going.
Okay. Would you like to tell us about something interesting that you have faced recently?
Oh man. So when I just gave my IPMAT exam, I was expecting my Rohtak results to came first. And then suddenly my friend called me and said, how much you got in Indore? And I was like very shocked. Like first the Rohtak result should have come and then the Indore result. And then when I saw the result, it was good. And then suddenly after 2 hours, the Rohtak result came. So it was really an interesting and exciting day. And I was also nervous at the same time.
Okay. What is it that you like to do in your free time?
I like to play chess, cricket. I like to read books. And other than that, I like to hang out with my friends.
Okay, what kind of books do you read?
And mostly I read fictional books like Harry Potter and the mythological books and some
One
self-help books.
one mythological book that you've read.
I recently read the Amish's Ramchandra series, which constitutes of three books, Ram, Sita, and Ravan, and its
Do
four
you
parts.
agree with Amish's narration on the Ramayana?
Then he said it firstly only that it's just based on Ramayana. It's not exactly what happened. He just used he used the
Plot.
idea of Ramayana plot and then made a story of himself.
Okay, which self-help book that you think has been very impressive?
Some Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
Which one?
It
Rich
was
Dad
like
Poor Dad.
yeah.
Okay, so what have you learned from Robert Kiyosaki?
I've learned that our elders never teaches us about money, and especially in my household, whenever I talk about money, it's like I should not talk about money and I should only focus on my studies. So that is the biggest learning I got from that book.
Do you know there is one principle that Robert Kiyosaki always propagates? Any idea about that?
And I don't know exactly, but I can guess. He always talks about the asset and liabilities. He said
Yes,
anything which
correct.
makes you money is an asset, and anything that takes money out of your pocket is a liability.
Yes, and he talks about the paradoxical view on assets and liabilities. Perfect.
Uh,
Tell us what makes you an ideal candidate for this program.
I do not. I am always even tempered, regardless of the pressure situations I get. So I think I can handle the fast IPM curriculum. Also, I varied interest from studies to sports and theater, just like the IPM program. So if I get a chance to get study in IIM Rohtak, I'll bring on the table my zeal and determination to learn as much as I can, my ability to complete tasks, whatever the difficulties are, and my multidimensional personality.
Okay, Aman, tell me how many good friends do you have?
I have two friends, one my childhood friend from sixth standard, and one from 11th standard.
Okay, so if I ask these two friends of yours to describe Aman, what will they say about you?
And they will say that I'm a good person to hang out with. I'm funny, and but at times I just cut off connection from them because I'm a person who lives life based on my priorities. And sometimes my friends are not my topmost priority. So that's what they will say about me.
Okay, tell me one thing if you could change from your life, from anywhere, what is it that you would change?
Even from standard first to fifth, I was in a local school because of the financial distance of my family. If I could change, I would get admit myself in the school which I studied from sixth standard because it was a good school, it gave me great exposure, and the 5 years of my life would have been different.
Okay, that'll be all from my side.
हाय अमन कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़े 11 12 में तुमने
The PCM.
PCM अच्छा and which stories have you been following since last one odd years one odd year
Stories, sir.
yeah
In the last year, it's like from the Russian-Ukraine war, the UP elections, and I guess Sri Lankan crisis, rising inflation.
ठीक है let's start first of all what is the basic difference between matrices and determinants?
So I will not, I cannot recall it exactly, though I just know that matrices, no, so I don't know exactly.
Okay, the basic difference between differentiation and integration.
So basically, they are just the inverse function of each other. Differential is like breaking a thing into as small as we can, and integration is like integrating many of the things together.
Okay, so where they're exactly used in the life? I mean, where do you see the use of differentiation and integration?
So we use integration to find out the areas of complex graphs, and we use, I don't know where we use differential in real life.
All right, moving ahead. So, what is Bernoulli's theorem?
The theorem which comes in physics related to fluid dynamics, which tells us the relation about force, pressure, and the area of the surface in which the fluid is flowing.
What is the formula for it?
I cannot recall the formula. As I'm a dropper, I've not been in touch with this technicality.
With which law is acceleration related? If I'm talking in context to Newton's three laws of motion.
The acceleration is related to the second law. No, the first law.
Are you
Mass into
sure?
acceleration. Fourth. Yes, sir.
First law, second law.
The first law.
Okay. So titanium lies where exactly in the periodic table?
I cannot recall, sir. Sorry.
So any idea about reverse osmosis? What do we exactly mean by word reverse osmosis? A chemical biological term usually used.
No, sir. I really cannot recall it. Sorry.
What is the meaning of word catalyst?
The catalyst is basically something which initiates or accelerates the chemical equation.
Help me with an example.
I cannot recall an example like.
So you told me that you have been following a lot of stories. Let me ask you from this one. A leader from BJP spoke something which she should not have spoken, okay, and it created outrage. Uh, about this outrage was so harsh on India that vice president of the country was sent back from the Qatar Airways.
Then
I'm talking about which woman? Name
you
the
are
person.
talking about that. It's Miss Nupur Sharma.
All right.
He spoke about the prophet.
All right. Something happened after this in one city where one person was beheaded completely. Which city I'm talking about, and what exactly was the matter?
So as I'm from Jaipur, uh, it's from Udaipur. The person name was Kanhaiya Kumar. He was beheaded by two persons because he shared some status supporting Nupur Sharma. So the two person got offended and beheaded him.
There was a news about 5G spectrum a month or so ago. Why was 5G spectrum in the news?
So because the Indian government is about to bid the spectrum on 26th of July, and recently Adani also came in the race with BI, Airtel, and Jio.
Okay. From international politics, help me understand this. So, very well-known personality from Japan was killed and was shot dead while he was delivering a speech. I'm talking about which personality, and most importantly, for how many years did he serve as prime minister oblique president of that particular state?
So you are talking about Mr. Shinzo Abe,
Mhm.
and he first served as the Prime Minister in 2000, from 2006 to 2007. Then he came back in power in 2012 and served till 2020 as the Prime Minister.
Of
But I cannot recall of Japan.
what you cannot recall?
But I cannot recall about the president term of him.
Where do you see yourself 5 years down the line?
So I see myself completing my management education and grown in every aspect of my life, whether it is academics, social, or emotionally. After completing my management education, I would like to get some corporate experience in in a corporate world. That's where I see myself.
Do you belong to which city, Aman?
I'm from Jaipur, Rajasthan.
So help me, see some very famous monuments in Jaipur. So I want a city tour with you right now.
Okay, sir. So, sir, Jaipur is the only city which has more than three forts and more than five palaces. So, I will take you to the forts first of all. We have three forts: Amer Fort, Jaigarh Fort, Nargarh Fort.
Who built them?
So, the Amer Fort, Jaigarh Fort, and Nargarh Fort.
Who built them?
Who built them? Sir, Amer Fort was built by Maharaja Man Singh. Jaigarh
Okay.
Fort was built by Maharaja Jai Singh II, but I don't know who built the Nargarh Fort.
Okay. Last question for you is an extempore, and the topic for you is technology has changed the periods from days to seconds. So I'll repeat it once again for you. Technology has changed the pace of work from days to minutes.
Okay. So can I have 30 to 40 seconds? Sir, I'm ready. So yes, I agree with the fact that technology has changed days to minutes and minutes to seconds. And the major reasons I think of it is the speed with which the data can be transferred nowadays, speed with which the money can be transferred nowadays, and not just the text, the video, and all kinds of information can be transferred from one corner of the world to another corner of the world within seconds. And this has cut a lot of time, which would have take like months before. So that's the reason technology has technology has changed the pace of work.
Isn't it?
So these are the points I can recall.
Okay. All right. So let's start with the feedback part. Renu, ma'am, if you can start.
Aman, what do you think? How did you do?
And I think I did good in the HR part, but my academics are not well brushed up. And in extempore, I should have spoken two, three more points.
Okay. I could, not hear a few words in between. Did you also face that same problem? Like, the sound was going off and just like, for a fraction of a second and then it came back. Could be the issue at my end.
And
I don't
you
know.
were
Did
clear.
you also?
No, well, he was audible. Yeah.
Anyway, okay. All right. I just changed my network, so probably it's going to be get fixed now. Okay. Aman, first of all, when you talk about your strengths and weaknesses, there is a very brief detailing required and sometimes not at all. You just have to say what is your strength and what is your weakness. You got into an elaborate discussion about what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. When you are asked about your weaknesses in an interview, it is not, nobody expects you to actually give the actual weaknesses. We want to know what your thought process is, what, how how intelligently you would draft a weakness that would come up, that you would say is a weakness, sound as a weakness, but actually is not a weakness. So more than the content of the question, the answer that you're going to give, what we want to know is how you are processing that question. And it is one of the googly questions, so you very carefully think about the weaknesses that you want to state, because they should not affect or reflect negatively on your personality, especially as a management student. दूसरा, आपने कहा फैमिली बिजनेस ज्वाइन करना है, यू आर डूइंग अ मैनेजमेंट प्रोग्राम, यू आर सपोज टू बी सेइंग दिस दैट आई एम गोइंग टू लर्न एज मच of management and the corporate experience that I can get from this, then eventually I might get into the family business. Because the moment you say family business, right away the chances are, or maybe not, but there is a thin possibility where the person would say that I don't want this person here at my institute because anyway he is going to join the parents business. Okay, so you
Yeah.
don't want to diminish your chances there. Then at one place you, I could not note it down. हाँ, आपने कुछ example दिया था. When I had
COVID.
asked you something and you started saying about the COVID thing where you took care of your family and this thing.
Yes, ma'am.
See, like these are us, the real life situation and your learnings from this thing. You have to, even if you've not gone through any experience as such, you have to craft something that sounds impressive. मैंने पूछा है क्योंकि मैं चाहती हूँ कि आप मुझे थोड़ा सा, you know, grafty, lofty जवाब बना के दो. Simple works at times, but not in the situation analysis questions. तो थोड़ा सा कुछ जिसे कहते हैं ना cosmetic value को add करके जवाब बना के देना है. और don't look so tensed up. You are all clamped. ऐसे लग रहा है कि डरे हुए बैठे हो. You got such sweet smile. You should smile more often. ठीक
Yeah,
है?
ma'am.
I mean, anybody who's giving me good answers and is not smiling will actually lessen the impact. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's all from my side.
Okay, so Aman, फर्स्ट अच्छी बातें, फिर थोड़ी थोड़ी बुरी बातें, तो कि उन पे ही काम करना है. तो नेटवर्क का तो हम बता चुके हैं, टेक्निकल इंटरव्यू में तुम्हारा नेटवर्क लैग था, इसलिए हमने अलाउ किया तुमने मोबाइल पर ये पर्टिकुलर इंटरव्यू लेने को. सबसे पहली बात. दूसरी बात, यू आर अवेयर अबाउट द थिंग्स, यू आर अपडेटेड ऑल्सो, यू आर वार्म ऑल्सो, जो दिखा मुझे. एंड आई लव द आंसर द वे यू आंसर्ड व्हाई आईपीएम. वो अभी तक इतना अच्छा आंसर किसी ने भी नहीं दिया. सो बहुत अच्छी तरीके से उसको आपने लिखा है और वो किया है. एक दो चीजें आई,
One thing,
या
sorry, sir. One thing I like to add, you mentioned somewhere about I've got one life and I want to
Yeah,
do
ma'am. That
everything in this
motivates me.
life. That was a very good answer.
या
Thank you, ma'am.
So the great
Sorry,
thing
I
is कि
just wanted to.
इन्होंने so he has crafted some of the answers beautifully that I loved and I think वो बनाए हुए थे अच्छी तरीके से. लेकिन कहीं कहीं भी ऐसा लगा कि मकडअप भी है, कुछ आंसर्स प्रिपेयर्ड नहीं है अभी. सो एट द एंड ऐसा लगा कि यार मकडअप है और अभी उसकी पूरी तरीके से मेहनत नहीं हुई है उन आंसर्स पे, तो वो ध्यान रखना. मैंने यहाँ पे ये पॉइंट भी लिखा है. एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज, आपने इंट्रोडक्शन में डायरेक्टली आईपीएम को घुसाया है. सो शायद हमने जो क्लास में बताया उसी के हिसाब से आपने आंसर क्राफ्टिंग करी है, मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था. लेकिन आईपीएम को डायरेक्टली नहीं घुसाना. सो व्हेन आई टोल्ड यू व्हाई सीट दिस सीट इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू, इट्स नॉट कम डायरेक्टली. मतलब वो डायरेक्टली नहीं आना चाहिए वहां पे. तुमने काफी
Okay.
हाँ, वो इनडायरेक्टली जाएगा डियर. तो सो कभी कभार ऐसा हो जाता है कि हम कोई चीज पढ़ाते हैं तो उसको अलग तरीके से लेके चले जाते हैं. ये ध्यान रखना, ये मुझे एक मिस्टेक दिखी कहीं कहीं
Sir,
कुछ.
can I
हाँ,
say something?
या प्लीज बता.
Sorry to interrupt.
हम्म,
But the IPM part was not there before. But when I sent my script to Vishal Bhaiya,
हाँ
he said me to that
नहीं
include that
वो
part.
अच्छा बताया उसने, लेकिन डायरेक्टली नहीं डालने को बोला होगा। क्वेश्चन से डायरेक्टली कनेक्ट कर लेना, एक बार तूने डायरेक्ट डाल दिया उधर बहुत ज्यादा, क्योंकि बेसिकली तेरे बारे में
Okay,
पूछा
sir.
जा रहा है इंट्रोडक्शन, है ना, एक बार देख लेना। एक और आंसर्स जो तुमने कुछ कुछ क्वेश्चंस के दिए वो काफी छोटे थे जिसके प्रिपेयर्ड नहीं हो। मतलब अगर क्वेश्चन मैडम ने पूछा और तुम उसके लिए प्रिपेयर्ड नहीं हो तो बहुत छोटे आंसर्स जा रहे थे फिर, मतलब 3 लाइन में
Yes,
खत्म
sir.
कर दे रहे थे। जिनके लिए तुम प्रिपेयर्ड, वो क्लियरली विजिबल था, बिल्कुल क्लियरली विजिबल है कि ये बच्चा इस आंसर के लिए प्रिपेयर्ड नहीं है। नर्वसनेस मैडम ने भी ऑब्जर्व किया, यू वर नर्वस थ्रू आउट, शुरुआत में तो काफी थे, फिर कंफर्टेबल हुए। ये एक चीज नोटिस करी। एक तुमने सेल्फ गोल किया, बहुत बुरा सेल्फ गोल किया, इनफैक्ट तुमको पकड़ा जा सकता था। तुमने, तुमसे कुछ ऐसा पूछा गया था, मैडम ने पूछा था उस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे कि रिसेंट में कोई ऐसी चीज हुई है, यू सेड कि अभी इंदौर के जब रिजल्ट आए उसके बाद रोहतक के रिजल्ट आए, एंड उस पर्टिकुलर डे पे मेरा रिजल्ट बहुत अच्छा रहा इंदौर का। रोहतक के इंटरव्यू में
So
तुम अगर इंदौर की बात
I
करोगे,
understand.
नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन एक्सपेक्ट करना 101%, इफ यू आर गेटिंग थ्रू आई एम इंदौर, विल यू चूज अस और नॉट। बहुत टफ हो जाता है इस क्वेश्चन को आंसर करना फिर। सो ये सेल्फ गोल करना बंद करना। स्माइल मैंने भी लिखा है, मैडम ने भी यही चीज कही, तुमने स्माइल नहीं किया। सब्जेक्ट नॉलेज बहुत पुअर है, मतलब सो योर इंटरव्यू वाज गोइंग लाइक दिस, इसका ग्राफ ऐसे था, सब्जेक्ट पे जैसे ही हम आए वो डाउन हो गया। इनफैक्ट हमारा जीके नॉलेज भी अच्छा है, बट ये बिल्कुल इट वेंट फ्लैट डाउन। एक और चीज लिखी है, नॉट एबल टू गेट, क्या था, हाँ, यू डिड नॉट राइट एनी पॉइंट ड्यूरिंग एक्सटेम्परे। ये क्या होता है एक्सटेम्परे? Watch my and Anil sir's video on micro presentation on SuperGrads YouTube channel. That will be a big help for you for dealing with any extempore. ठीक है, this is it from my side and ठीक है, you will be through 100%, मुझे ऐसा लगता है। बट यही है कि इन चीजों पे थोड़ा थोड़ा काम कर एंड नेटवर्क अपना सुधार के रखना बेटा, ठीक है? चलो, बेस्ट ऑफ लक।
Yes, sir.